This is our second video presentation on Egyptian roots of yoga. Simply label this one Egyptian yoga. And you can see two different pictures on the left and right. Same picture in different light. This is the electromagnetic current body, what they call Sekhem in Egypt, and the Pranamaya Kosha in Sanskrit and in standard yoga philosophy. You can see each of the chakras on them. Here in a black light, the chakras are highlighted, and in regular light you can see the chakras, but also the organs and glands around. So this presentation is about this electromagnetic energy body, in which they describe the whole phenomena of the chakras. From the book of breathings, the papyrus of Gurushar, breathing exercises are spoken of as prayers because of their ability to connect the soul to God. It is written that these have the power to heal and purify the body, and the body is an energetic current by nature called Sekhem. Now the breathing exercises in yoga are called pranayama yoga. The second body of man in Sanskrit literature is called Pranamaya Kosha. It is made of energy called prana, is of an electric nature, being essentially the power that animates and gives life to the physical body. So in India, in Sanskrit yogic philosophy, the vortex, the chakra of Muladhara, located at the root. This is in the writing below. Now at the top I have the cycle of Sethian, which is describing the same thing. Located at the base of the spine, the groin area associated with the sexual organs, produces body chemicals which help the well-being of the entire body. Color is fiery red. The power of Set is here, which is considered an evil principle because of being purely physical energy which does not relate to spiritual endeavors. In fact, it pulls one away from those spiritual places. But physical life springs from this cycle. So same phenomena with Muladhara. Base at the root, connected to the sexual organs, fiery red, divided into four in India. Four sides of the pyramid are there in Egypt. And in the Native American tradition, the four directions, this is all connected. Physiologically, principle pulls us into thoughts of ourself and material existence, survival and acquisition. It's not about spiritual realms. So you can see in the pictures, this is from Ananda Ashram where I studied. You have the four petals, a yellow square in the center, an elephant and the deities, and a serpent for Kundalini. We'll get into the serpents and snakes in the next presentation. This is another picture from SanatanaSociety.com where you can get more information about the Hindu version of the chakras and gods and goddesses. And this is a inner vision coming from years of practicing visualization techniques. You can learn to see these things for yourself on the inside. So consider this first chakra. And then in the Egyptian way of describing things, they go into the cycle of Het Heart, the house of light, which actually moves us up into the third chakra. And it is said the energy moves from the first chakra, the earth element Sethian, to here and rules emotional states. Connects to astral with physical, unity of senses, physical power. Yellow and red make the color. So it's associated with the spleen and the pancreas. Now in the yogic tradition, vortex of Manipura chakra, light and vision, firepower, transformation to energy, first to third flow of energy from matter, the liberation of energy from matter, which is what the digestive system does. The pancreas is connected as the gland. Our physical power of action is generated from this fire. Reaction of emotional tendencies also comes from here. You can see the symbols. Again, the red triangle, basic symbol, which you can find in India, Tibet, in the Mayan lands, etc. The one in the middle is from inner vision. It's more fiery, and on the inside you can see these very neon-like colors. So from this chakra, it is said in Egypt that the current descends from the third chakra, Hetu, down to the abdominal area of the navel and lower back. Connection is to the adrenals. The cycle of light encloses the sun. The double Ka resides here and gives us human characteristics and personality. Thought and intuition lead to the intelligence of the heart. The color of the energy is yellow. Now in Sanskrit, mythology, symbolism, this color is yellow. Orange for the second chakra, yellow for the third. Slight differences there, but those colors are close. However, located in the abdominal area of the navel, lower back, just as at the top of the sacrum. Glandular connections to the adrenals. The organs are included in India. Kidneys and bladder, fluids, etc. The center of personality. This is where we gather traits and characteristics from the people in our lives, and we develop our personality. Sensitive and socially connected to others leads to heartfelt intelligence. Second chakra. So we have deities, Vishnu and Saraswati in Sanskrit, in Hindu mythology, same over here. And the one in the center depicts more of the personality aspect with the mask in the center. The water element, 6 petals. This is all part of the mathematical symbolism which goes into sacred geometry, to be covered in another little video. Moving on to the cycle of Osirian, area of the heart and thymus gland, emotionally and psychological place of love, growth, development, compassion, understanding, and communication. River of life connected to the lungs. Green, the color of natural growth. Balance between the two poles of life, the sex glands at the bottom and the pineal gland at the top. Heart center is in the middle. The cure for all diseases lies here. This is what is written in Egypt. Now, Untitled Chapter, any of you who have some study and information about this, area of the heart and lungs, endocrine connected is the thymus, emotional place of feeling love, or sometimes lack of it if we've had not such a great childhood. Place of growth, beginning of spiritual development, compassion, empathetic understanding and communication of feelings. In the middle of mind and body, between sex drive and spiritual purpose. So no real conflicts in this. These cultures have the same ideas, same concepts, and it's all about understanding the human reality. You can see again the symbols. We have a interlaced triangle, 6-pointed star in each of these. And in the Indian version we have deities, gods and goddesses, a certain animal, and a lot of different Hindu symbols. In the pure geometry, it's more simple mathematical geometry of color and form. The ideas are basically in the geometry. Cycle of Est, area of the throat, connected to the thyroid and parathyroid glands. The ladder that goes up from the body to the upper realms of existence in the higher spiritual levels is here. The 7 vertebrae in the neck are the steps. Considered feminine in Egypt and gives birth to higher awareness. The color is blue for harmony, sky, and spirit. The inner voice and higher attributes are here. Going back to the Sanskrit text, the Shuddha Chakra, the throat area connected to the voice, endocrine glands associated is the thyroid and parathyroids within that. Voice and verbal thinking come from here, bringing a linking with higher intellectual thinking with curiosity and spiritual realities. Inner voice and tuning into the Akashic records of wisdom are possible at this level. It's considered masculine in India. The color is blue for the sky and what comes from the sky, which is kind of the heavenly realms. you can see that there are 16 petals, 16 sounds, vibrations for each of those petals, nerves going out to different parts of the body and mind. Hindu deities, Shiva and Parvati, and in this pure sacred geometry aspect, it's very vibrational, vibrating a lot. It's all vibration. This is the electromagnetic world of which is constantly in a state of vibration, which we use for all our telecommunications and which is part of our modern day reality. We need to access it with our own minds and realize thoughts are all contained within this field of Akasha. Akasha is electromagnetic vibration, and it's the element of the fifth. Cycle of Ta. In the Egyptian world, the commander, the first king, first craftsman on earth, bringing abilities from higher creative places. The creative element in humanity where higher mental and spiritual attributes are developed to the maximum. Connection is to the pituitary gland. Energy governs from the upper neck to the top of the head in the pineal region. It's an area of achievement, craftsmanship, abilities, and higher accomplishment. Indigo violet is the color. Connection is here between the physical and spiritual and the creative power of spirit. So the Ajna Chakra is the command center in the mind, place where decisions are made and acted on. These are made with higher intelligence and not from reactive tendencies. The influence of higher mind, called the buddhi in Sanskrit, and spiritual awareness are here to direct things. Physiological connection to the pituitary, and the pituitary is the command center of the whole endocrine system. Connections to all head regions. Creative achievement is initiated here. Abilities are learned and applied from here. Indigo violet to ultraviolet is the color. And you can see in the two depictions on the left and right, we have androgynous Shiva, half male, half female. You might not see the details until you zoom in on this. In both of these, this is the Hindu version of it. The two petals of the sixth chakra, the yin and the yang, two hemispheres of the brain, the masculine and feminine, the intuitive and the intellect. They're in all of these cultures. We'll be looking into more details on that in Egypt when I get there tomorrow. This is the more sacred geometry view of it, which again you can tune in, go inward and see this for yourself. You might not have the deities there. In this one I have the 11 senses of the external world and 7 senses for the internal, all part of this chakra. Now we come to the last, the 7th chakra, cycle of Wadit. It's the right eye of Hiru and the cobra are symbols indicating higher spiritual achievement. Realm of the soul. Pineal gland is connected, third eye associated. Violet to ultraviolet is the highest frequency of the electromagnetic vibration. Spiritual growth, higher consciousness, and communication with the unknown. Going beyond the 7th chakra. Sahasrara in Sanskrit. Crown chakra is on top of the head. Pineal gland is associated with this energy. Spiritual awareness center which opens humans up to the universe beyond the physical body. Visions from beyond this world. Violet to white, which contains all colors. So in the Sanskrit, in a lot of pictures you'll see the crown chakra depicted as 1,000-petal lotus, which has the colored petals of each of the other chakras, all contained here. 7th chakra is the awareness of all these other energies. This is a Native American view of it, which is in a globe with the 4 directions and then the earth and the heavens, making 6 directions with consciousness in the center. And this is a sacred geometry symbol for it, where you've got the chakras laid out in 4 directions, The sixth and the first are superimposed. It contains everything, and awareness being the central principle of this. Awareness of all the other directions, of all the other chakras, awareness of everything, which is expandable out into the universe, to become totally aware, to rejoin our personal awareness with what's called Purusha, the awareness of the entire universe. So back in Egypt, we have the Karnak temple in Luxor. People think of the temple as a place to go for prayer or communication with God. This place is laid out in the form of a human being. It was a study center to discover and learn about the human being in all aspects, from the physical structure to the energetic, to the mental components, to consciousness. We know from fairly recent history that most of the Greek philosophers like Plato, Hermes, Pythagoras, and Aristotle all went to Thebes in Egypt for their education. The modern name for Thebes is Luxor. It's amazing to realize how sophisticated and detailed their knowledge about life had been in what is considered prehistoric times. How much do we not know about ancient civilizations? Snakes. This will be our next video presentation. The serpent is a very common figure in ancient Egypt. And you can see these are two different serpents. This is from King Tut. It's one of his treasures that's in the museum in Luxor. There was another one, a 2.5 coiled serpent, which is very similar to Hindu versions of Kundalini. I couldn't take a picture, but this is from a postcard. They would not allow cameras in anywhere at that time. In fact, they'd search you before you went in anywhere. I think that has changed. So this is a Chinese version of a serpent coiling its way up, and you have again 3.5 coils. It has a dragon head, but the body is of a serpent. So all of this about the serpent, all of this about energy, chakras, this is a reality of the ancient cultures, what they thought was very important to know as part of the education of all of the ancient cultures that I have studied, and that's quite a few from Central America to India and to Egypt. So stay tuned for the next little presentation, and for now we'll say goodbye and close this. Just pick it up. And I'll say namaste. You can follow along with all of my little research and explorations, and we'll see you at the next video. Bye for now. Off.